Wolfram CM Edition is a pretty crazy multi-effect which combines pitch shifting, distortion, phase shifting, panning, short delay effects, feedback delay effects, resonant filter and loads of modulation options to create a really quite versatile and useful effect in a very small, petite package. Okay, so load Wolfram on an audio track in your DAW and open the tutorial file Subsonic Labs folder and drag in saw5ths.wav. Set your DAW up to loop around the sample. You'll hear that when you activate Wolfram, it makes the audio track slightly quieter, and this gives us a little bit of extra headroom. And if you find that you don't want it to be so quiet, you can of course turn up Wolfram's output with the control in the bottom right hand corner. Wolfram CM Edition is a really powerful effect. If you want to see what it's capable of, you can check out the supplied presets, which can be accessed by clicking the drop down menu under the word presets. As you can see from the folder names, Wolfram CM Edition can be used to create a wide variety of effects. Let's start by creating a simple phaser effect. Play the audio back and sweep the phase knob. You'll hear that the sound becomes imbued with a silky phase effect. You can automate this parameter, which makes for a really useful controllable phaser effect, or if you'd rather, you can have a more traditional LFO based phaser effect. We can do that by setting the phase to 12 o'clock, and then in the patch bay we select the source as LFO1 and the destination as manipulator 1 phase. If we turn up the amount knob to about 3 o'clock, we get a kind of old school phaser effect. The movement of the phase is a little bit fast, so turn down the LFO1 rate. Now this effect is cool, but in terms of stereo it's really static, so let's set up the second modulation routing to a source of LFO1 and a routing to manipulator 1's pan. Again, turn the amount knob up to about 3 o'clock. Now we've made a really useful little phaser effect, but Wolfram is capable of so much more. Let's take a look at what else it can do. For starters, we can check out these real simple low and high cut filters. You can switch these between 12 and 24 dB with this little button here. Let's try out the distortion effect. Turn up the distortion and you'll hear that the sound gets progressively more and more overdriven. Now this effect works really well in conjunction with some of the other effects. Set the distortion level to 12 o'clock and try sweeping the phaser around. This gives us a lush, crunchy phase that's perfect for giving synth lines a bit of guitar-style distortion that'll really help them stand out in a mix. It can get pretty loud though, so you may need to turn down the output knob to avoid clipping your master. Set the phase down to minimum again, and this time turn up the pitch knob. This pitch shifts the input signal, and when it's turned all the way up to maximum, it gives us an even more guitar-like effect. Turn the distortion back down to minimum and sweep the pitch around to get a feel for how this sounds on its own. Turn the pitch back down to a minimum to turn it off. The final part of the manipulator is the delay effect. To activate the delay, turn the D mix up, and when you do, you'll see the D1 and D2 knobs go from being greyed out to being functional. Now these control the two delay times. These aren't feedback delays, so you're not going to get a feedback delay style effect out of them, but they are useful for creating short delay based effects such as flanger and chorus. For examples of chorus and flanger effects, you can check out the chorus and flanger folders in the preset menu. The mix knob simply controls the volume level of the manipulator 1 section, and you can control the input using the small knob next to where it says manipulator 1. Now let's take a look at the filter and delay section. This is really straightforward. To activate it, just click its power button. Immediately you'll hear the feedback delay effect. To sync the delay to the host tempo, click the S button in the centre of the delay parameters. FB controls the delay's feedback level, and OS sets the offset level of the left and right delay times, which is great for creating a really wide stereo effects. The mix sets the effects wet dry level. The resonant filter to the left of the delay is very simple and consists of just a cut-off frequency and resonance controls. Finally, you can select different LFO and envelope follower patterns from the pattern 1+2 panel on the right. The envelope followers' attack time and sensitivity can be adjusted using the A and S knobs in the LFO 1+2/env panel.